Clearly, I don't care. Oh man, welcome folks. Welcome folks. I didn't share the link, so my bad. So welcome guys. Welcome to the latest episode of the Sim Standard podcast with myself and Smitty. And as you can see, guys, I'm looking here to my left, playing this little league game here in Madden, man. Clearly I don't care that much about it as I'm not paying so much attention to it. But me and Smitty still gonna make the show happen. But just kind of letting you guys know why you see me looking to my left. But what's up, everybody? Look at this, Meaty. What's up, Meaty? That's quite the name there. And actually, hold on, man. Let me do my due diligence, man. And let me get the link, man, and post it on Twitter. No, we got to do that. But how's everybody doing, man? I hope everybody is well tonight. Again, we don't have too many topics to get into tonight. We're definitely going to talk about the Madden patch. We're going to talk a little bit about the Battlefield patch, and these are just going to be light thoughts as far as, how we feel about it happening in general. And then, of course, the first thing we're going to dive into, man, is the ESBC stuff that Smitty and I didn't get into last week. Apologize for that, guys. And like I said, I'm just, putting the link out here on Twitter and also trying to play a Madden league game. Can you believe it or not? But again, and I'm going to say this several times tonight, it just goes to show you how much I really care about the current state of the game. I can play a league game and not pay attention or worry about winning or don't care. But anyway, guys, I'm going to throw it to Smitty first and see how Smitty's week was and things of that nature. Anything else we want to touch before we dive into the topics, and that shall be the show. So what you got for him, Smitty?
Well, one thing that I would say is that, these quiet. These NBA playoffs are definitely exciting.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's interesting.
How about Embiid?
Yeah. Yeah, no, and he came through. He came through in a major way. So there's no question about that.
Three-pointer by a center. I'm telling you, listen, today's NBA just different, Smitty. It's just different. It's different. But I'll take it. But yeah. Gotta love it.
No, it's good stuff, man. And I mean, you got some series here. And I mean, look, the Suns now, I mean, I still see Phoenix coming out the series.
What's that?
Even though Booker, they're 1-1. Booker went down and he's crucial. Out for like 2 games, I think they said. So he definitely will be out. That could have an impact considering they're going to New Orleans for these next 2 games. I mean, McCollum and Ingram, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they got a decent, team like that. So they're not they ain't no pushover.
Ingram was hooping. Right. He was out there balling, yo. I'm not used to seeing that from. And these are guys that I thought he had that type of skill, but wow. Okay.
Yeah. So they out there working. And then you got, Madden. I mean, then you got Minnesota. That's a fun shit. Like, end of the day, I want it to be Memphis that comes out of that, because whoever comes out of that is going to play, the winner between Golden State and Denver, which I'm very confident it's going to be Golden State. So if it's not Golden State, excuse me. On the flip side, I don't want to see Minnesota play against them. They'll just run them right out the gym. So, but if it is Memphis, it'll be at least a bit more competitive. So they're more of a defensive-minded team. So yeah, I'd rather see them play. But overall, like Philly, I mean, I didn't see Toronto really giving them much of a problem anyway, so it's not surprising to see where that series is at. Other than that, I mean, you got series across the board. Well, no, I'm sorry. Miami is going to blow that out the water. Miami and Atlanta. So
Who they
they're up
playing?
2-0.
Oh, Atlanta.
Yeah, they playing Atlanta. They have 2-0 on them. So it's like
Too
they're
bad,
gonna
Ice Train.
blow that out. So that ain't nothing to really worry about. But otherwise, yeah, man, it's gonna be these are some good series, some good playoff basketball in these opening rounds. Some guys are really getting that opportunity and stepping up. You know, they're showing up with their game. They're stepping it up. Like Jordan Poole, especially that brother right there. You know what I'm saying? Like
making a case for himself, man.
Them boys is working. You know what I'm saying? And look, Stephen A gave them dudes a nickname, which I do like the nickname. He called them Lethal Weapon 3. You know what I'm saying? Like that is a good name. I'm like, I can't even front on that. That is a good name that for those guys because they are rolling, and that's awesome to see. Team, it's awesome to see. You know, and I'll just say this real quick, and then so that we can roll on. It's awesome to see good team basketball for the most part. Yeah, you got some superstar stuff going on. But at the same, but the overall overtone, like the better teams for the most part are teams that went through the muck and the mud together. And dudes came up, free agency signing here, draft pick here that came up eventually. Jordan Poole comes up to the G League. Andrew Wiggins had to refine his game when he came to Golden State, etc. All of that stuff. Klay Thompson comes off injury. You know what I mean? Like, teams that built, Memphis built, they built that. You know what I'm saying? Like even looking at New Orleans, I mean, they're missing Zion, but still, like they are as a collective team, they're playing some solid ball. Milwaukee, solid team ball. You know what I mean? So it's like you're seeing these teams actually come together and do their thing. And I'll even give it to Philly because I mean, really the move was really Harden. I mean, yeah, you got rid of Simmons, but Harden is really the move. So it's just like he's really the key piece with, you know, everybody else that was already there. You know, Maxey stepped his game up. You got Harris there already. You got what's the name? Thibault there as well. So it's like you have your other, you know, key pieces that are already there amongst your stars or whatever, and y'all, you know, they're balling right now. Like as a team, you seeing these dudes elevate as a unit. That's what you want to see. You don't want to see that. That's why I'm glad that honestly, I'm glad that LeBron ain't in there because if he did, them boys would get wiped out because you got teams that are playing against these guys. Those guys aren't a team. And it shows because like these other teams got chemistry. They, like I said, they went through the fire together. They went through trials and tribulations together in order to honestly solidify themselves as a legit team. Like we said a few weeks ago, Memphis went 20-2 during the regular season without Ja in the lineup. Like that's crazy. So it's like that goes to speak to the team that's built. The Lakers couldn't do something like that. They could have if they actually had team chemistry, but they're not building chemistry. They're just trying to put stars, you know, or former stars, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, around, you know, all up, click them all up with around LeBron and just think it's just going to work. Like it doesn't work that way. You got to actually build through chemistry. Even if that means you lose a little bit, you still build anyways, and then you know, you could take your team and go to higher heights like these other teams are doing. Look at what CP3 is doing. And, you know, he's 37 years old. Look what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? He's leading that team. Yeah. Now he doesn't have to play like a LeBron and be like, oh, I got to drop 28. You know, I got to average nearly 30 in order for us to just hang. It's like, no, he doesn't have to do that. He can legit be a floor general and he's good. So
quintessential point guard, man.
Yeah. So
he is
that's
that.
What you want, man. But that's all I got, man. You know, the draft is next week. Can't wait for that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what Detroit's gonna do. I don't even know who they should even take. Should they go for what's my man's name? Thibodeau? Should they go for that safety? You know what I'm saying? You even got cats reaching for that quarterback. My man, what's his name? Malik Willis or whatever.
Well, yeah.
At 2? I'm like, nah. I mean,
hey man, stranger things have happened, brother.
Yeah. I mean, hey, look.
In the draft, you just never know.
If they do that, they better get Debo. Because that's the only way I will be okay with that move. They have to, like, I mean, I wouldn't really be okay with it, but at the same time, it's like, if you're gonna do that, you got to get Debo on the squad. You got to get him here. Because you gotta have a real solid core going in, and you got a brand new rookie quarterback at that point too. It's like, yeah, I mean, Goff's still there, but still, it's like if you're gonna invest, and I mean, like Dan Campbell said, everybody that he picks, like they're gonna be opening season ready. Like these are gonna be people that are gonna be starting, like they're going to be playing and contributing. They're just not gonna be just guys that are just drafted. These dudes are gonna be meaningful pieces to the squad. So, and I can believe that based off of last season. So what I'm saying is, okay, whoever it is you picking, I trust, obviously I trusted the staff at this point because they did a good job last year. But I really want to see these guys, whoever it is they bring somebody that's worthwhile, that's going to make a true impact, hopefully, for our team. Let's take advantage of the fact that we still got Aaron Glenn as our D coordinator for at least another season because he tried to get a head coaching gig and it didn't happen. So hopefully, whoever it is we bring in, along with the other season guys from last year that come back, they can build up. Plus, we're on Hard Knocks this year, so that's going to be entertaining to watch.
That's not good.
You know what I'm saying?
Not a good thing, brother.
Well, how's that a bad thing?
They don't usually pan out for hard knock teams.
Oh, really?
I'm thinking somebody in the chat help me out. Has there been any teams on Hard Knocks that like had a legitimately good season? Trying to think. I could be missing somebody. Trying to think. We've had, let me see who we had on there. Cleveland. When Cleveland was on there, was that the season that they had that pretty decent season? I don't remember.
I don't know.
But yeah, man, listen. It might, and listen, I'm one of those people that I don't believe in, predetermined things. That could be a good thing for them being on there. So, I'm not just going to go off of the status quo and say, oh, well, it doesn't work out for hard knock teams. We'll see. But, yeah, guys, like I said, man, you see me looking to the left here, man. I'm playing, I am still in that one Madden league, Sim Standard League, and I'm playing the league game right now. Currently, I'm about to go up 10-0 after this field goal against a division foe who's 6-1, Cleveland Browns. He beat me 2 weeks ago. I had a bye this last week. And like I said, guys, y'all, I've been saying all year, I play the game from time to time, and that's when you can really feel what's wrong with the game, things the game does well. You're playing with like-minded individuals, you can have a decent experience. So that's why I still play in the league. And with myself and Azure and Smitty being, the three founders of the league, that's why I stick around. And like I said, man, I can have a decent time with like-minded individuals. But at the same time, as you can see, I don't take it so serious. If I'm able to sit here and do the podcast at the same time, it clearly, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But definitely enjoying the playoffs so far. I would be quick and just give you my assessment there, man. I like what my Sixers are doing so far. Joel Embiid, man, is just a special talent. I'm not saying it just because he's on the Sixers, but man, he's definitely playing like a league MVP. And like I said, man, for some of us guys who remember the old NBA, even watching the NBA in the 90s, who would have thought a center would shoot a fadeaway 3-point shot to win a game in overtime? It's just crazy. It's crazy the type of athletes that you have now in the NBA, man. It's just the type of athletes in today's NBA is just different, So there you have it. That's all I got on that. And even still, even though the Sixers are playing well right now, guys, I still don't believe in them going far. Maybe, but like I said, I got to kind of. I'm not going to take back what I said, but I feel a little bit better about what I said about Maxey early on. He is so far. He's showing that the lights aren't too bright. And he's performing in the playoffs as well. It's only one series, but Maxey has definitely been an X factor for us, no question. So good luck to my boys, and we'll see what happens. Somebody in the chat said Minnesota is giving it to Memphis again. They're going to mess around and make that a very interesting series, man, if they're not careful. Listen, Minnesota has some grit. Sometimes that's all it takes. You heard Smitty said, sometimes all it takes is just that team mentality. So we shall see.
28-49 right now, Timberwolves.
Wow, see that?
So
already stole one. So they mess around and win tonight. What's that? That's going to put them 2-1, right?
2-1, yeah. And Ja was talking mad smack after that game.
Hey, man. Hey.
I mean, I like it though.
I love it.
I like it. Like that's what should be happening. That's that intensity. Like, I love it. I love it. He said he want all the smoke, just like his dad said.
All right. Smoke is coming.
Smoke, right?
Smoke ain't coming. It's there. I mean, right, because you in a fight right now. Let's keep it 100. You already lost one, and you in a fight tonight. So the smoke is there, brother. So you wanted it. Here it is. But all right, guys, we jump into the topics, man, so we can get through them. First thing on the agenda is ESBC. Trying to think. Should I throw it to Smitty first? Because me and Smitty haven't talked a lot about it. So I'm actually just as curious as you guys might be to hear Smitty's thoughts. So, yeah, I'll actually throw it to Smitty first, man. What we're going to talk about, guys, is mainly we know there were some content creators, obviously, your boxing fanaticos of the world, and some other people. Showbiz, I think, is one of them. I'm gonna be honest in saying I don't know some of those other guys. I did check out their videos, but I don't really know them. And that's not an indictment on them. It's just that the community in general is a small one. It's like it's a new game, so I honestly haven't watched every single person who's had something to say about the game in its past, but we're just going to talk about our thoughts from what we're hearing from them and kind of share our enthusiasm or not for what we think this game has a potential to be. So that's where we're going to go with it. So what you got, Smitty? What's your thoughts on it?
Well, my thoughts of it, I listen to mainly Boxing Fanatico and Showbiz the Adult, because
what up, Fanatico?
Those are the guys that those are the guys that I look at for the boxing insight, really like that. I mean, I started looking at Study's videos, and also one of the other guys' names I can't think of. But thing is, look, the key takeaways that I see from the game is that, especially what Showbiz, it's like they both explained it in a good way, but Showbiz said it in the most meaningful. It's like the lines that he said were the most meaningful to me, because he said, we've had boxing video games for the longest time. This is actually a boxing simulation. Like, this is a boxing simulator. Like, this is a game where there is no, at least from them playing it, they're like, there is no set fighter you could use. And
no meta.
This guy has, right, exactly. You use this boxer, it's guaranteed he's going to drop you when you use this particular move. Because he's like, no, you actually have to use the techniques. They give you the tool. It's the same thing we've been saying all the time with Madden and everything. Give us the sandbox. Give us the toolbox and make you have to figure it out. If you go in there playing like it's Ready to Rumble or Fight Night, you're gonna get knocked out.
Ready to rumble.
See what I'm saying? Like
that used to be my joint, yo. Little arcade action.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like there isn't a like if you have a fighter, and that's the thing, they were making the comparison. Once again, I'm not the big time boxing aficionado guy, but the point they were getting at was, if you use boxers whose style is about fighting inside, that's how you have to fight with them.
Love it.
You can't fight with them outside. If it's a boxer, he named one from the boxers they're able to use. They were guys that everybody is going to fight based off of their specialty. If they're an inside guy, they're going to be inside. If they're an outside inside guy, then you can play to those strengths. If it's somebody that's good with staying outside like that, it'll be wise for you to play to that strength.
Mm-hmm.
So they were talking. I mean, he gave an example, even though you couldn't use Muhammad Ali from what they said, the build they played. The point of them saying that if you're able to work the jab and you can stay outside with it like that, work it. That could literally be part of your plan, because you have the guy that has the length and has the skill to do so. Then fully take that to your advantage, leverage that. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he said it's skill, but okay, all right. Oh, okay. The thing that they also talked about was when it came to your career mode, which this I really like. When you're fighting with your fighter, as you're going through your career, if you're getting knocked out left and right, you're going to develop the trait of having a glass jaw.
Glass jaw. Beautiful. That's a beautiful thing.
It's an organic element, basically. If you're fighting and you're hurting guys with your left hook, dropping dudes with a right uppercut, you're going to earn traits, or that's going to be your reputation. So, in the game, you're going to earn those traits.
Mm-hmm.
This guy has this devastating hook. This guy has it. And just like they said about Deontay Wilder, he got that right hand. So I think it was his right there. I think they said specifically. But it's like, if that's what he's the best with hitting you with, if somebody's playing the game, man, I'm hitting him with all these punches. How come I ain't? Well, how does Deontay Wilder box? When Deontay Wilder is serving you up, no. Okay, stop. No, kids, not now. Not now. Okay, stop, Haley. Okay, all right, that's fine. Go ahead and sit down. DJ, go out there, buddy. Okay, stop. Sorry about that. I'm watching the kids solo here, so I'm gonna have those interruptions. But what I'm saying is that as you earn that reputation as you're playing the game, it's sweet, because you can earn a reputation, like I said, glass jaw, or you can mess around and earn a reputation as a tough guy, like Tyson Fury. My man got knocked out the frame and rolls back up. You can earn a reputation like that. So it's cool how it's going to organically differentiate when it comes to what kind of boxer are you going to be. Everybody's story is not going to necessarily be the same. But if you're getting dropped and you go online with that, you see what I'm saying? You're gonna be in for something. See, that's what I like. When the game has the toolbox and it's like, this is what you are. Now, you don't like it, get your skills tight.
Right.
And go online. Because look, one way or another, oh man, I don't like the way my character is. No, I'm gonna do another career mode. That's fine, do it. But if you go online thinking you're gonna be, I'm tough now, because you go online against somebody that knows what time it is and they know what they're doing, you're gonna mess around and get yourself hurt. You know what I'm saying? And what was the other thing they said? Oh, when it comes to the judging, I think they said they have 40 judges in the game, and they always mix it up.
Y'all listening to this?
Yeah, they got
40 judges, dog.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
They got 40 judges, and they said it's always randomized, and you don't know who the judges are until the fight is over. So that way you can't really tell the style, because they all have their styles in terms of how they score fights. So that's what can make it. You can have that controversy, be like, oh man, but you're not gonna know who the judge is.
Right.
So you can't. So what that basically means from a gamer standpoint, I don't know exactly how I can approach a fight. Hey, stop, DJ, stop it, quiet. I don't know. You don't know exactly how to approach a fight, because if this is the kind of judge that's there, okay, I could fight this way and possibly win. You don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have to fight the fight, and then just, fight the best fight you can, basically, instead of just trying to cheat. See, I like how these guys are explaining it with the player physics, with the controls, with how the modes work. I mean, I know like I said, I looked at some of the videos, and it's like those are just the key things that pop out to me. It sucks the game is not coming out. Basically, I mean, they don't have a date, but they're just giving a guesstimation. They're giving guesstimations. They have no idea when it's coming out. But it's being worked on, obviously. It is legitimately being made. I can understand them taking the time to really build it out, considering how many boxers you have that are going to be in the game. Plus, you're talking about programming in their actual tendencies for each and every one of these fighters. Like, you have over 200 some odd fighters, and still adding. So, so it's like, it makes sense for you to analyze all the film, analyze everything you need to get every single one of these guys right, from back in the day fighters to present day. Do what you got to do. I'm okay with that. And just, that's how you put out a quality product. That's what we say. Take your time, do what you need to do to make the game pop. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Esports Boxing Club. Yeah, that's what they said. That's basically what some of the guys were saying. Watch out, buddy, okay? That's what some of the guys were saying. They're saying, like, end of 2022, early 23, like, it may be around that area. So we'll see what happens. But that's overall, that's how I basically felt about what I watched regarding the gameplay, their gameplay impressions.
Yeah, man. Smitty hit on a lot of it. Definitely the tendencies thing. What stood out to me is I heard them say something to the effect like they used what's my man Bud Crawford as an example, saying, if he's aggressive, in real life, which we know when he attacks, he's gonna do that in game. And like Smitty says, seeing that they're taking that approach, they're gonna have to do this for all of the boxes, tendencies, movement, things of that nature. And we've actually already seen it with our own eyes in terms of movement. Because just look at some of the trailers where they show, what's my man's name? Fury. You can see that he's doing his little, that little rock and that little, awkward. He's doing it. So it's not like we have to believe what they're saying with, and like ghosts believe it. No, we're seeing it. And now we've heard from people who've gone down there. So I would just say this too, man. This is shaping up to be an extremely organic simulation in boxing, unlike we've ever seen before. You guys know how I used to feel about Fight Night. Most of y'all know I love boxing just as much as I love football. those are my sports. And it was certain things about Fight Night that I didn't necessarily, I'm not going to say I didn't like it. It's just that at them times when the game was out, it was stuff. That's when me and Smitty was starting to get on our campaign of, giving Madden feedback. And even before that, but that's when we started saying, I wonder if certain things are possible in the video game. So Fight Night was years ago. So maybe technology hadn't caught up, but I was already on stuff like, man, they need to get the footwork better. They need to get more mannerisms. They need to get this. They need to get that. And this game is bringing it. And graphically, like, I know it's not everything, but to hear from those dudes and to hear that the game is actually looking exactly like what's being advertised, come on, man. A game that looks like that and potentially is going to play the way we think it's going to play. I'm super excited for where this game is going because, again, the foundation that is being built on. You can do a standing 8 count, dog. You can take a neat, you got to pay attention to some of the mechanics that they're bringing to the game that tells you right there that it's not a simulation. This is not casual stuff. But I also want to elaborate on this side of it. Hearing what they said, and I know Smitty agrees with me here, hearing the stuff that they're talking about lets me know, yeah, it's a real game. And they are seeing some of the challenges that we would see when we would go down to EA super early to see Madden in its pre-alpha state and stuff like that. So it was, in a way, some people are going to be the casual fan or the casual gamer. Let me say that. Casual consumer might not have been so happy to hear some of the things that Fanatico and Showbiz and those guys were that they didn't like. But in a funny way, I was happy to hear that because it let me know, yeah, it's going down the path that I'm familiar with. Like I said, even with a game like Madden, it let me know, yep, I understand that. Yeah, I know why that's happening. Yeah, so it made me furthermore believe that this game is real and it's on its way. But also what was interesting, Smitty, if we noticed that all of those guys were pretty much saying the good of what they liked about the game is kind of the stuff that is being advertised. It was mostly just bugs that they were experiencing. So, like I said, man, my excitement level for it is at an all-time high because I can't recall too many times where we can rightfully say there's a video game that is being built from the ground up that is focusing on simulation first, the art of the sport that is representing. Using a boxing term, they're focusing on the sweet science.
Right.
And come on, man. How could you not be excited by that? So that's where we are with it, man. I'm looking forward to it. And, I'm not going to give it too much praise because I didn't play it. I haven't seen it up close and personal, but it definitely appears that all of the stuff that's being advertised and what we've heard is legit because, those folks came back and said the same thing. And like I said, man, if you've been paying attention to the trailers and all of that, how could you not be a little excited by the opportunity, what this game might be bringing to the table? So there you have it. Those are my quick thoughts on it.
Yeah, and I mean the other thing, the funny thing too, though, as well, that that was in common with all these guys is that they were saying like a lot of the feedback that they gave, a decent amount of the feedback they gave was already fixed. They just were playing an older build on purpose so they could make sure they were going on the right track with the fixes and everything. Because it was like a lot of the bugs, a lot of problems and issues that they did name out. They're like, oh, it's already fixed on another build.
So familiar, don't it?
Yeah, I know, right? You know what I'm saying?
So familiar.
It's like sweet. So they did that to get that idea from them and everything, and to get that feel. And I mean, I just want to see these dudes go as far as, I mean, excuse me, I understand, like somebody has said in the chat, them focusing more on key boxers like Canelo and Fury and Wilder and all that stuff as far as tendencies and stuff and getting specific with. But my thing is, you're going after all these different people.
Yeah.
And you're taking your sweet time with it. So I believe that they're going to get all these fighters' tendencies put into the game because, like I just see that happening. Because why would you get all these people just to make it Joe generic? Oh, he's going to have a generic set. He is, she, he. But when we get to Chris Cyborg, we're going to make it specific for her. For what's her name? The one sister that's like one of the top boxers out there. I can't think of her name right now, but we're gonna make her specific.
Clarissa Shields.
Yeah. We're gonna specify her skills and get her fully captured. But then everybody else, everybody else is just gonna be a generic slate on down. Like, no, I don't see them doing that. Not for taking this amount of time. Because if that was the case, then they wouldn't need to take this time. You know what I mean? That's just my thought. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I'm just saying, man. Like, I think they're gonna go there, and I mean they might as well. Like, if they're going to push it, and if they're gonna take this time to build it, get as specific as you need to with those boxers, man. If people want to make a female boxer, male boxer, whatever class, division. No, you don't want to fight somebody that's got a generic set. You want it to be, specifically tuned to that guy or that woman. Mm-hmm. So, like, why not go ahead and do it? You took your time. You took this much time. Go for it. Do it. Like, why not, man? So, I don't know. Like, have those tendencies in there. That was a big thing Showbiz said. That's the thing. Fanatical and Showbiz are my guys really with that. So it's like for them, especially Showbiz, to really harp on the tendencies bit, that's huge to me. So I'm like, bet. Because that's the stuff I want to see with UFC. And it's like, we don't have that in even in other UFC games. But these dudes doing it with boxing, that's going to make me, because I'm not Sim is the knowledgeable one with it. I'm the one that's not really that, not really that knowledgeable. So it's going to be me doing research and looking and saying, oh, snap, the way he fought, the way she fought, that's how they got it in the game. Like, they actually got the 10. This is how we be looking at NBA 2K. When players do certain moves, certain ways, and do certain things, or run certain plays, or certain, team tendencies, coach tendencies, all of that, it's like, yeah, I want to see the same thing with boxing, because you don't see that. We haven't had a boxing game in ages, but that's what I'm saying. Like that, this would be awesome to see them go that far. And this ain't a big time corporation. This ain't EA. This ain't none of that. And you know what I mean? And look what they're able to do. So,
Meaty, you asking a lot of questions. Yeah, I feel what Smitty is saying. I was just looking at some of his comments, and not a shot at you, Meaty, but the Paul brothers, like, come on. and you said no game is complete without Floyd. I feel you, but you got to understand.
I feel you there.
This is a company, basically like a startup, and it's not up to them. We all have to. It's kind of what I say, and my Steelers people that's in here tonight know where I'm going with this. It's kind of what I say to my Steelers fans when they talk about free agency and re-signings and, man, why the Steelers why they didn't get him? Why they didn't sign him? You do understand that it's up to the player too, So even like in situations like this, Floyd, I'm sure, is going to be quite costly. I'm sure these guys would love to have Floyd Mayweather in the game, but Floyd Mayweather would want to have to be in the game. You understand what I'm saying? So, and I don't think, I don't think you're nitpicking. I'm just clearing the air in case, just some people some people are just gamers. They're not, all into the nuts and bolts like me and Smitty might be. So, in case you're wondering why they may or may not be in the game, we always got to consider that stuff too. It's not just up to the company. You got to consider whether or not, Floyd Mayweather is going to allow his service and likenesses to be in the product. You know what I mean? So, but I feel you. I mean, I would love to absolutely would love for Floyd to be a part of this thing. No question about that. Yep. So I'm with you there. But yeah, I'm just excited, man. It ain't really much more I could say. I'm just excited because, like I said, I don't recall a game putting this much emphasis on being simulation like this game is doing. So you gotta love it. You gotta love it. So there you have it. There you have it. Let's see what else we got, Smitty.
That Madden.
All right, let's get to it, man. And mind you, as I'm playing a league game, I'm going to be able to read to you the updates while playing the game. The last franchise update is what they told us, right? Yeah. And it's funny because I'm going to go down this road, and I'm going to give a extreme shout out and huge respect to the good people over there at Sports Gamers Online. Curtis, the Natural, was one of the, basically the founder of the site. Me and Smitty know him personally. Shout outs to Mike Straw. I do recall when Mike Straw had put this news out several months ago about their sources told them that, Madden had kind of pulled the plug on some of their updates and they were going to wait until 2023. And then, Madden and EA emphatically came out and said, no, that's not true, yada, yada, yada. And look how long it's taken to get these two quote fingers. I got to do both quote fingers here. Updates. Yeah, right. Starting to sound like it was true. And then, and my good people over there, I know there's a couple developers that watch the show. I talk to them all the time, even after we get on Madden, because they know it's nothing personal. We just keeping it real. It ain't their fault. They don't make those decisions. The higher ups do. So it definitely is looking as if what they were saying, what Mike Straw and them was saying is true. I don't think EA had any real intention to continue to develop Madden's franchise in 22. And it looks like they threw something together just to appease the franchise community. That's what it would appear to be. So basically, this is the last one, and the updates are, and I quote, scouting tuning, okay, scouting tuning, and another scenario, or more scenarios. A few more scenarios, and I believe it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's only 5. 5 new scenarios. Whip-de-do. And what else was it, Smitty? Some new goals in franchise.
Yep.
So it's basically nothing to write home about, nothing to really talk about. And listen, I'm going to end it with this. We could be here all night talking about the do's and don'ts, the hates, the loves that we have in Madden. We've done this 1,000 times. I'm shifting my energy to Madden 23. We said it last week. The stuff that's on paper seemed promising. Deliver it. That's all. You deliver it, then we'll come back and we'll tell you how much we like it or how much we hate it, depending on how it's delivered. But that's it. I have literally nothing else to say in regards to anything else. That's it. There's no need for me to get on them about what they did or didn't do in 22. We already know that. At this point, Madden, you have to improve because, like I said, as I'm sitting here playing this game, you can have an enjoyable experience when you're playing with like-minded people. Do I think Madden 22 is complete trash? I don't. I've outlined to you guys what the game needs to improve at. Deliver it. The stuff they're talking about for 23 sounds good. Deliver it. That's all we ask you to do. You do that, then we'll have a conversation. But until then, it's what I always say, Smitty. I'm at a wait and see when it comes to Madden. I'm gonna wait and see. Not getting too excited. I'm not getting too low. Even kill, because we got games like ESBC coming. We got whatever the new 2K game is gonna be coming. Hopefully. We got other video games to play. Is basically my point. So nobody's going to sit around and I'm not getting my hopes up. I will explain to all of you guys here in the chat as I take the victory formation here. What do you know? I won the game, huh? 24-10 as I'm talking to you guys. Listen, man, just wait and see. That's it. We all should be at that point when it comes to Madden. Am I overly surprised by the lack of stuff that's in this patch? I'm not. Because, again, I tend to believe SGO. And honestly, the last thing I would say before throwing it to Smitty, I'm going to be honest. I'm tired of dealing with this with the sport that I love. Come on, Madden. I mean, you guys, higher-ups, y'all got to understand how much people love football. You know how much people love football? There were a lot of people who watched USFL this past weekend because we love football.
And that fan-controlled football league? That's a new one. That guy Destroying, if y'all know who that guy is on YouTube. He's a minority owner of one of the teams that are part of that league. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and he loves football. He didn't get the NFL dream, but he does his thing on YouTube. And he's taking his bread from that and putting it back into the sport he loves. But
he loves football.
That's the
Terrell Owens, 46 years old, catching touchdown.
Terrell Owens in there. Johnny Manziel a part of it too.
Loves football, man. So I understand higher ups that y'all love money. We all love money. But listen, you know what? I wish I had my wallet on me because I would give a real world demonstration. I give you my money if you give me the great product. That's the funny thing about it. You don't have to be lazy. Why don't you be, again, I hate to use this reference, but most of you guys saw the movie American Gangster. When you got the blue magic, my man was even cutting his costs because he stood by the product. If you could stand by your product, think of how much more money you would make money-hungry Madden controllers. You don't have to be lazy. You don't have to hold the devs back and keep them from innovating and not throwing resources their way. Just do you want to be 2K? Do you want to get that representation or not representation, reputation that 2K now has for their basketball game? Even though there's issues there too, but y'all know what I'm saying. The game is super deep. It definitely attempts to replicate a simulation brand of ball when you're playing like regular basketball. I'm not talking about the part. Come on, man. You could do it all. You could put everything in it and still be killing. Let these people make a football game, because us folks out here in the good old United States, we love us some football. We should not have to be gamers that's complaining how not realistic their favorite game is, while we watch other sports games seemingly doing a better job. Come on, man. I'm tired of that. And that's why I guess I'm so even killed with it, because it's like, man, I don't have the passion anymore to have my hopes up. I just, now y'all got to prove it to me. So we'll see. I'm sorry about that little rant, but I'm tired of it, man. But what are your thoughts on this this update here, Smitty? This is the one. It's the big one.
Where the update at? You know what I'm saying? Like, That's the thing. That when I think it's like it makes it appear like these guys had no plan on doing these 2 updates.
Yeah, I don't think so.
What Mike Straw said, that it validates what Mike put out. They had no plan on doing these updates. They got exposed at a high enough level that they all of a sudden had to jump in front of it and be like, oh, no. That's fake. The updates are coming. So they had to go ahead and actually do the work necessary and put the resources into getting those updates out. And that's why, I mean, just my, theory on it, but it's just like, why would you be putting out a title update for this game? And it's April 21st. You're less than 2 weeks away from it being May, and you're dropping an update now. As Sim and I usually know, Madden is basically complete. They go gold in like what, July?
Yeah.
End of June, July. So, and I mean, for those that don't know the term going gold, that basically means the game is complete and they getting ready to ship that sucker out at that point. And you're dropping updates. So it's like you're dropping an update now. And I mean, look at how minuscule of an update that is. So it's like, yeah, y'all didn't plan on doing this. And you got your hand forced and y'all jumped in front of it and now, this is why I'm just saying, like, man, I like the information that was put out there about the game.
Yeah.
That we talked about last week. I like it. I potentially love it, but I got to see it in action. I got to hear from Clint. I got to hear from whoever is necessary. And I need to see footage, not just a doctored up trailer. And that's it. I need to see some straight up gameplay footage so that way I could really, potentially get behind it. But I mean, in concept, from what was shown, what we discussed, it looks interesting and I'm cool with it. But we gotta wait and see what happens, man. I don't know, dude. I don't know. But the update garbage. There is nothing. It doesn't make me want to. I mean, look, I don't even have the game on the console right now. I mean, I have it on PC, but that's not the next gen version, and that's the point. I'm playing a PC version of it with the game being modded versus playing the next gen version of the game. Like, that's pretty crazy. I should really want to play the next gen version of it, but it's not happening right now. And just like what Sim said, all this football, we got the draft next week. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you don't understand. When I listen to the radio and I hear all this football talk, it's like, man, I want to play Madden. I want to play a football game. And it's like, the only thing I can honestly play right now is just that souped up NFL 2K5 that guys are doing right now. That's it. And that's because it's got the NFL in it. But the gameplay is, there's substance to the gameplay in it. Unlike what we got going on with Madden, it's not even close. So, like, when I see people talk about MUT and all that stuff and everything, and it's like, yeah, none of those players have any identity.
Yeah, it ain't MUT.
There's no different. What we just get to talking about with ESBC. There's no tendencies. There's no nothing that really differentiates each player. And NBA 2K, I'll at least give it to them from my team because they have that. You don't have, I mean, I know they got their zany over the top cards too, but at the same time, you have these players that have signature jump shots, tendencies, skills, moves, etc. And they've, progressively, continuously built upon that. But we don't have anything like that with Madden where it's built upon like that. Like, and it's terrible. So, yeah, I'll see what Madden 23 is going to show. And like what Sim said, and we said it too. You got to let the devs work, man, because I would love nothing more. Because I'm people be like, oh man, devs need to be fired and all that stuff. And it's like, look, if the devs need to be fired, we need to actually see them be able to do their job to the fullest. Then I can actually believe you. But as Rex has showcased, and as we clearly can see it without any dev saying a word, we know those guys aren't in control of their destiny there. They just punching the clock and doing what they can. These dudes may have titles, and you may thrust certain people in front of the camera, but they're not honestly being able to do the work that's truly necessary to make this game pop. And you know Madden could pop just like these other games because look at how all these other games are doing it. You know, NHL and all that stuff and everything, FIFA, like, come on, man. No. So, but yeah, that's all I really got on it too, though, bro.
What my man Tony Carson just said is realistically the problem. Mutt did not ruin Madden. Mutt is not the reason why the game can't improve. Every other sports game we talk about has an ultimate team. Every one of them, including FIFA. That still sells a great deal of copies, made by EA Sports. It didn't ruin anything. Didn't. Because here's the truth of the matter. Listen, remember, me and Smitty have been in that building several times. The thing that people seem to not realize about Mutt, it doesn't take much to develop for Mutt. That ain't taking no development time. It's the same thing every year. You talk about repetitive. Mutt is the same thing every single year. The only thing that changes is perhaps the rating, maybe a different boost. It's the same. It doesn't take a lot of development time, guys.
Yeah, the art style of how the pack opens. That's basically the only thing that changes for the most part.
We can't say that's the reason. Now, if you want to say, oh, well, they're making millions of dollars off it and they got lazy. Okay, yeah. That's fair. But Mutt is not the problem because other games can be better, can push the boundaries, and they have an ultimate team. The real issue is, and we've said this here before, speaking of what Tony Carson said, that exclusive license, not only was that a problem because it removes competition, but remember, very next year, what game came out? Madden 06. What console did it come out on? Xbox 360. Why was prior gen still loaded and 360 was not? They even came out and said, well, you know, going to a new console, it's stripped down. But why was that? Because we all now know that they tried to reinvent the wheel instead of porting over. And where the lazy part came in is they never went back and added all of the stuff that you saw in Madden 06 PS2. Think about it. Think about that for a moment, folks. All of the stuff we saw on that console in the same year, up through what? Madden 07, I think, or 08. It was a few years they still made it on both consoles.
Yeah.
Up until
Madden
that point.
12.
Up until that point, the prior gen was loaded.
Yeah.
Next gen wasn't. So that's really the truth of it. The laziness came in where they was like, well, we're not going to go back and re-add that stuff. We're still waiting for stuff like that to be put back in the franchise right now. That's really what happened.
Yeah.
Had nothing to do with production, had nothing to do with capability, has nothing to do with the dev skill set. It's the executives making the executive decision to focus on what they think is important and what's not. Just like when Rex Dixon said he promoted a cycle of just fixes and rewriting code and et cetera, and they said, no, we can't sell that. He told y'all that. So if you don't believe me and Smitty, he told you that. We can't sell that. There you go. Long shot, all of that stuff. There was another thing, and Rex doesn't care that I say this now because Rex also will remember when I stood up in front of a bunch of people at EA, executives included, and I said, that's a horrible idea. You're doing it in reverse. If you're gonna go in that direction, you better be chasing a my career type of thing. Don't go doing that telltale. It's gonna fail. But they thought that was gonna bring in new people. They tried it. It was supposed to be a 3-year thing. They stripped it out in 2 because it didn't work. These are the things they do, folks. Frostbite. I told y'all this before. Some of the people, executive level, saw how beautiful Battlefield was, and it was like, that needs to be in every game. Get it in Madden. And I'm not going to say Frostbite was a bad idea, but the focus was so heavy that year to get on Frostbite. You had people being pulled from franchise and MUT, all of that, just to get, see what I mean? The executives are always trying to get the new thing to bring in the new people. KO Superstar or whatever it's called. Is it Superstar or KO?
Yeah,
or
Superstar
KO?
Superstar
I always say
KO.
it backwards.
Yeah.
Same deal. Face of the franchise.
Yeah.
Same deal. It's not my career. See what I mean? If you're gonna copy, why don't you copy the formula that works? And that's the reason, folks, why the game is not at a level where it should be, because they keep trying to do all this nonsense instead of just making the game Trump tight. That is what's going to sell it. Once it's the nuts and bolts are all tightened up, and then you can add your bells and whistles.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the real reason why it's where it's at, man. It's, and again, I'm not here to change nobody else's opinion. Me and Smitty are just speaking from actual experience and having some knowledge of how it works, because we've been going down there since 2012. So,
yeah. And one thing we didn't mention it earlier, but I know we were talking at the time, but shout out to Carmichael, the sports guru, $5 donation.
Oh, thank you.
For what he had said. And he said, in his opinion, he said, this is my opinion, but the MUT cards ruin Madden. And I mean, you already, elaborated. You already explained it. You basically explained it without seeing his comment there, but he did. And and the one thing I just want to say real quick, the thing that really upset me, especially when I initially was going down to the studio with, when Sim and I would go down there, is how much guys would be talking football. Guys would be talking about this team and this player and this quarterback and how this guy is and how that guy is. And it's like, but none of this is happening in Madden. And y'all talking about these players' tendencies and everything else, like it's gonna be like y'all know the game we're gonna play is not going to reflect this. You know what I'm saying? And understand, I would bring up NFL 2K5, like we had a private Facebook group together at first, like the Game Changers had back then, and it was like they were like, I would always get into debates with people because I would bring up 2K5, and I bring up All Pro Football, and I bring up Backbreaker, and make mad points with video clips of boot, and be like, look at what this game has, and y'all talking about, y'all be up here talking football, but the game you playing ain't even doing this. You know what I'm saying? And dudes will be going back and forth and everything like, oh, that game got flaws too. And I'm like, no one's saying it's a perfect game, but I can articulate my NFL team or an NFL team and its personnel much better in this old game here than I could do what's currently out. And then we be going down to the studio in February, and dudes up here, oh man, yeah, man, this season and this guy and that guy. And I'm like, but the game we're playing is not going to showcase that. And I'm like, but y'all be good, but we could debate all day about football, but this ain't it. So, and that's why I was just saying, like, and I mean, I'm not saying that to knock the devs or anything, because it was never about knocking any of them, but it's like, they got to let y'all work, because we knew these dudes were smart enough and they're more than capable. but they got to be enabled to do it. They got to be allowed. So, but I just wanted to add that on. That was it.
No, that's real. And I wanted to add really quick, is it Krebser94? He says, didn't they want to bring tendencies with next gen stats? But that's just that. Where I always challenge people who think the devs are the actual problem and they don't know nothing, they don't want to do anything. I challenge you to go all the way back to, let's say, even Madden 25, right? Look at some of the features that were added to the game. Those are not casual features. Those are features that literally what the devs have to do sometimes is they come up with ideas and then they have to figure out how they can sell it. They can sell it internally to the ones who make the decision. How do I know that? Smitty and I have been there millions of times where we'll give our thoughts in a meeting, a post-mortem or whatever. Soon as some of the more senior guys leave, one of the devs will pull us to the side and be like, hey, yo, thanks for saying that. I was just having that argument upstairs.
Yep.
So, again, look at some of these features. Some of these features, and again, Madden hasn't been great. We all know that. But look at some of the features added since Madden 25. That's not a casual feature. Target passing absolutely was not a casual feature. That brings me to today, where they're trying to go with the passing stuff in 20. So the devs are tasked with that. How can we position some of these features that we want to represent football and convince those folks who want to sell that this will sell?
Right.
It's weird, man. It's a weird. It's just a weird spot to be in.
You would think the marketing guys that they would hire would be the ones that would do it, but the thing is, the devs have to prove it to the marketing team. Marketing, some way, somehow, has weight where they can basically extinguish the dev team plan of some way, some form. If there isn't a legit plan of development for it. Excuse me. Like how is this going to work? You got to market it. You got to promote it to me. Sell it to me. Yeah. Then we can go forward with it. It's like, what? No, it should be we do the work. We show you what it is. Y'all figure it out and y'all sell it.
Oh, I just had an epiphany. Oh man. Let me tell y'all something without diving all the way into it. And it just dawned on me when my man Remex just said, Rex himself said the worst regret was greenlighting the target passing in Madden 18. And I was about to say why he said that. And then something else dawned on me. Remember when I told y'all that there was other ideas? When I was in the studio, I'm not going to say who the dev was. Smitty might figure it out. And there's a guy that we love very much that y'all don't really see that often. He was telling me how he would prefer to do this new passing system, right? This is before target passing. This is the year before that. He was thinking ahead. I was giving him ideas. He bounced some ideas off me. Next year, I come down in February. Here's target passing. And I was like, this ain't quite what we discussed, but I see where they're going with it. So now, boom, that accuracy stuff, the strength meter and all of that is very close to what we discussed then. That was in 2016, maybe, because this was before 18. This was when I might have been there for a 17 event. And it just dawned on me that part of what me and him discussed is that the pressure sensitive stuff. But it's even deeper than that. That's why I said I don't want to go further into that conversation because some of this stuff might wind up coming down the road. And that's part of the reason NDA covers some of that stuff, right? This was years ago. Me and Smitty ain't been down there in at least 3 to 4 years, probably. But it's stuff that we may have talked about when we were there that could still happen. I tread lightly on that. Not that it's breaking an NDA, but it's certain dudes that I really rock with, and they trust that we can have private conversation, and I'm not going to tell the public. I'm sorry. I'm just not cut from that cloth. I'm not a leaker. I don't do that. But what they have talked about for 23 is it's part of that is some of what we were talking about. Dang, that just dawned on me. But there's other components to it that is not there. But anyway, wow, it just dawned on me. But so I was going to say that, yeah, the way target passing came out wasn't the best preference, and they kind of knew that going in. They just hoped it would, that's why, if you remember, y'all remember that year I did a tutorial video on it. That was by design. Me and others kind of like, man, we're going to have to at least show people how to use this thing. And it just didn't hit. It didn't hit, and they knew it was a mistake, and that's why Rex said that. Because it didn't land the way they wanted it to land, and I don't think that they had the time to develop it out the way that they really wanted to do precision passing. Wasn't exactly how target passing was executed, if that makes sense. So wow, Smitty, that just dawned on me, man, that strength meter is definitely a part of what we talked about way back then. But it's still kind of a hybrid thing, because you notice you got all of those options now with what they're showing. So it's still a little more hybrid than I would have preferred, but I get it. Interesting. Well, somebody said, will we have a dev on the show? I mean, if they'll come on. We've had Clint come on in the past. But some of them kind of shy away from social media as much anymore because it's really not a benefit to them. And also they're not going to divulge but so much information. Shout outs again to Rex. I think y'all used to get more upfront stuff when I used to do the interviews at E3 or EA Play. I think that's when you would get more of the raw stuff because Rex would just say what he felt. Clint would as well. But coming on to an interview, there's certain questions they're just not going to answer because they're not at liberty to do it. But yeah, we'll reach out because I know Hollywood is going to do an interview, and I would love to promote Hollywood here now. And I think Hollywood channel now is Primetime Sports, still Hollywood Sports to me, but he has an interview set with Clint that's going to be later in the year. So we'll make sure everybody is aware of that and check it out. So I'm sure he's going to ask some good questions. But the last thing I got, man, before we wrap up, this is going to be super brief. Battlefield 2042 has a ginormous patch in terms of the patch notes. If you just go look at the length of that list, it's incredible. I am not the Battlefield guy that knows it in and out. I've never been that guy when it comes to shooters. I play shooters for fun. So where some people will say this game is bad because X, Y, and Z, I wouldn't know that. Battlefield has been quite a disappointing launch to a large community. But as I told y'all last week, I had still been playing it. I could still get my enjoyment out of it, even though I could recognize there's issues too, but I don't know it like a Westy would or Flossie would or my man Jack Frags. Like, if y'all really want to know if it's improved, go watch their videos. They've all put videos out. But I will say this. Things I noticed immediately is, man, the recoil in the guns and the attachments are, bruh, it matters now. It's not just pick up. It definitely matters what attachment you have on and what gun you're using, the distance you're shooting, that recoil, you feel it immediately. The game overall, just playing it a few times so far yesterday, once or twice a day, it feels more polished. But more importantly, like I said, since I can't give specifics on it, it's just good to see that because I'm hopeful that Battlefield will climb out of the darkness and get back to the light where they need to be because, I hate having a game that you've been waiting for and then not a lot of people are playing it because it's not living up to its standards. So hopefully they're on the right path. I could say that. It looks like they're on the right path. The big YouTubers have said that as well. as far as the big time Battlefield gamers. So hopefully they continue to trend in that direction. And when the season 1 content comes out in early summer, as they advertise, and and then you can have full servers, man. So you're not waiting forever to get into games and things like that. But just wanted to mention it because it definitely feels a lot better. And again, you might be like me. You might be a guy that just plug, pick up and play type, and you will notice that the game has an overall better feel. Couple things that I wish they would do, though, really quick, and then I'll throw it to Smitty. I've been saying this since the game launched. I think the portal is an amazing idea, and you sometimes come across some amazing creations. But I think where the ball is dropped, in my opinion, is there's not enough featured experiences that you can continue to play. Like, they change weekly. There's one that came out today. It's called Quick Draw. But that one took another featured experience away that you can't play anymore. Right now, as it stands today, there isn't a featured team deathmatch. I don't understand that. Every now and then you'll look the next week, there's a featured team deathmatch where plenty of people are in there. It's not one of the ones that has to be hosted. It's a featured experience, so it's always on. So to me, you need a featured team deathmatch at all times. Rush at all times. And some of these more popular featured experiences, one of the ones that didn't get taken away that popped up last week that I like, and I heard Jack Fraggs shout it out as well. There's a conquest that's called Infantry Conquest. Excuse me. So the focus of Infantry Conquest is boots on the ground. So it's not a whole lot of vehicles, not a whole lot of vehicles. It's like boots on the ground vehicles, and not all of them, but decent amount. No airplanes, none of that stuff. I love it. The experience has been phenomenal. And all I can do now is I look today to see, is it still there? Okay, it's still there. Because my fear is come next week, it's gone. See? So if I can offer that feedback to them, let's throw a round number out there. It should be 8 featured experiences that are just there. You have your traditional modes. There should be one for team deathmatch. There should be one for regular rush, and not just the rush of the ages. No, it should be a standard rush for the 2014 game. You already have Conquest, of course. You already have All Out Warfare, but you have at least 3 of those major modes that don't change. And then maybe the other 5 are ones allow the community to vote on them and say, look, these are some of the best experiences. We're going to keep these locked. And then you can still have one slot where it rotates every week like you're doing now. That's the best of all worlds. You got to do that. And also, I want to see more damage with missiles and stuff like that. For the most part, it's cool, but y'all know what I'm saying. And anytime you shoot a missile at the side of a building, that thing should be crumbling, or at least leave a hole or crack. And there's still some spots and some things you hit with a missile or a grenade, and I just don't feel like the damage is what it should be. It's almost like it picks its spots. If you hit something just right, you'll see it crumble. And then there's some spots where you hit it dead on and it don't do nothing but leave like a smoke mark. Like, come on. So I feel like they definitely need to increase damage more across the board. And like I said, man, those featured experiences, they please stop taking away. I love team deathmatch, man, because it's a quick experience. So like if I got a quick 30 minutes, I want to just jump in and play some mayhem real quick, and get out. I don't always have the time to play Conquest. Or last but not least, team deathmatch is a mode that you can play that you have a squad and you can kind of still play it sort of like free for all, where it's not so much of a team experience. Whereas in Conquest, if you're not playing with people, it could get like kind of I'm having some fun with it, but it can get a little bland because nobody's watching your back. You can't play as a unit unless I'm on with some other people who are playing. team deathmatch doesn't really matter. You can do that, but you still can kind of play semi-rogue, because it's more of like kills, and whoever gets the most kills as a team wins. But I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. Like I said, man, it seems like 4.0 is a great step in the right direction. And I can say that because I'm hearing Westy said it, Jack Frags, Flossie, all of those guys said it. So obviously, if they feel that way, then I'm a little optimistic that the game is finally going where it needs to be. So those are my thoughts. Yes, right. Real quick, Neff, I plan on it. I actually have a video queued up that I was going to release today, and I didn't yet. I don't like how the gameplay turned out for me. I slummed in it. I still might put it out there. I don't care. I did a face cam, so it looks like a stream. I might still release it, but I definitely plan to start streaming some more Battlefield as soon as I can, just to provide a little more content out there. But those are my 2 cents.
Well, main thing, all I really have, because I haven't really been playing. I haven't really been playing the game at all. So, I mean, I didn't see the notes regarding the update, but my main thing overall is like what you were saying. The way they change things up with the menus and having featured modes and then taking them off. No, go out there. Okay, go out there, buddy. I'll be there in a moment. All right. It would be nice. Okay, buddy. I'll be there in a moment. Okay. So the thing is that they went away from the formula that worked.
Yeah.
And see, that's the bottom line. Battlefield Bad Company 2 was my joint. You know what I'm saying? Bad Company 2. And see, you had Rush, you had Team Deathmatch, you had Free for All in there. Like you had the modes that were there. I think that game had a story mode too. But the bottom line is that you still had it was there. The package was there. They gave it to you. And now you look at where this game has fell to, and it's like, yeah, like I get the sandbox element you guys are trying to do, but this was badly done because you have modes that you should be able to pick as a user, and they take them out. Like,
yeah, that's terrible.
Call of Duty does the same kind of thing. Now, mind you, they don't do it literally the exact way. Okay? Call of Duty will at least, like, if they take out a mode that, because they've done that during the course of this season they got going on. They've done updates where they'll take away a mode and then they'll add a mode back or add a different mode. Like they took out Kill Confirmed at one point and then they brought it back. So it's like, I'm okay with it. Like, okay, I get it. That's what's up. But no, the modes you feel like playing, you should be able to pick them.
Yep. See?
And then you're dropped into the lobby.
Just like what this is it? Here.
Yeah, no, see, that's corny.
Oh, it's gone. It was just there today, folks.
Hold on, wait, what?
The Conquest Infantry. See?
Oh, wow. See, there you go.
Gone. Oh, man, I got to release the video now. It's gone. It's gone. See that? It's gone today. And this is my point. It was just there.
Yeah, that's the point. Like, it should just be there as an option, and you pick it if you want. That's it. Now you done gutted it out and took stuff. Man, see, that's what makes it all corny. Right there. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
That sucks, man. Wow. See? But that's the point, man. You should be able to, you should have the game with its basic core modes. Like the basic core should never change. And then if you're adding new modes to play, or you're adding those modes, keep them. Don't get rid of them. keep them around. Don't keep it there for like a week or two and then switch up. Like, no, leave it alone and let the game breathe. Add the modes, let people play it accordingly. So no. So that's the way unfortunately that's the way it is. And these guys, EA, and once again, this is part of an EA royal screw. See, if they re-release this game in a few months or something like that, and it looks better, clean, all this stuff is better, and like this is this whatever version of the game, that's going to be upsetting, because basically what that means is the devs had the intent all along to give us something better up front, and because you ain't let them do it, they had to do it this way.
Right.
But then because of how you got slammed for it, you finally let them do their job. That's how it ends up looking. So
don't y'all judge the gameplay, because I'm telling you, when it's just me and I gotta find people to run with, I'm just not my best at that. When I play Conquest, I like to be playing with people. So DJ81, if you out there, if Smitty gets on the game and he wants to play, I mean, any of you guys, holler at me, man. So when I play Conquest, I can play with people and I can talk to you, because now they have added that back too, the VoIP. Which, why was that ever taken out of the game? See, stuff like that, I just don't understand. I don't get it. But
well, I'm saying they keep gutting it. No,
they don't get it. Man.
They keep gutting the game like that, man.
But it's quite challenging. And again, folks, this is the reason why you would hear me say, can you give me a dedicated team deathmatch? Because had they had a dedicated team deathmatch and me not having to go search for one in the portal, that's what I would be showing you guys right now. And I would be in action. You know what I mean? Like, I would already be in a gunfight somewhere. Now I'm forced to, it's so spread out. It's fun when you playing with people, but not when you solo dolo. You know what I mean? So
that's why I end up playing COD. I could get in and out real quick, and then I'm done.
I ain't even got COD. Well, actually, I could play it on Game Pass if I play it on Xbox, but
that's the main reason why I mess with COD like that.
Oh God! See, look at this. Now, if I would have been rolling with that cat right there, now come revive me. Look at this. Come on over here. Thank you. But see, my point, if I was playing with people, then we always rolling tight. We always rolling together, and you're going to look out for each other. Like, yo, watch your back. Da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
But you just don't get that. And like I said, if I'm going to be playing rogue like this, I would rather it be team deathmatch. Because these modes are more team-oriented. So you're not going to have a lot of success if you're not doing that. Oh, there's somebody. Got him. But I don't know, folks. What time is it? 9:35. So I guess we can go ahead and wrap it up. Anything else you guys? Smitty, do we got anything else to get into, man? Oh, that we can get in. Oh, how did I not get him with that missile? How did I not get him? Oh yeah, let me see if I can sneak around here. Oh, he got the light. It's a sniper.
Oh wow,
got that flashlight on him. Yeah, see, it wasn't nothing I could do. That was 2-on-1. Yeah, it's rough, Dre. It's rough when you're playing in this type of mode without folks. But like I said, I have a wonderful time playing it, man. It's just, I understand what to expect when I'm playing this particular mode without people. Again, I've said it 4 or 5 times here on the show. This is why there needs to be a dedicated experience for me to jump into team deathmatch. That is your quick, fast-paced I missed him. That's your quick, fast-paced version of Battlefield. And they took it away. 'Cause, like I said, if I'm going to be playing in this type of mode without folks, Why? Why is everything? I couldn't get out of the way. Why is everything hinged on the portal? So, because real quick, let me bounce out of this. I want to show y'all something. I hate to quit out of here, but I'm just showing y'all something. Here's the problem you run into. Watch this. Since it's not a dedicated experience, the only way I can get it, I have to go to the portal, which I love the portal. There's some amazing stuff that people have created. But here's the two problems with the portal. Problem number one. Here's my team deathmatch experience that I created a long time ago. But look what happens. I'm the only one that's going to be in here, right? So if I go to host server, it's not even going to work because I think this one is old, so I have to build it again. But anyway, I'm the only one that's going to be in there until someone comes here and find it and join it. So let's say that I have 64 versus 64. Let's say I built this server up to be popular, right? But what's going to happen in that case? Oh, man, it put me back in here. What happens, though, is I built this to be super popular. People are playing it. As soon as I'm offline, they can no longer play that experience. I have to be online to host it. You understand? See what I'm saying? So even if I get lucky enough, let me get out of here. Let me show y'all again. If I get lucky enough to come in here into the portal and find, I got to get out of there. Here we go. Let's say I go in here and I find me a nice team deathmatch. I jump in there. Let's say I jump in this. This ain't team deathmatch, but y'all get the picture. Say I like this experience. Well, I can only play it if this guy's hosting it. You see the problem with that? It's a real issue, man. Let's see if we can find, hold on. See if we can find us a team deathmatch. It ain't many. Hold on. And this is the problem, folks. That's Rush. Oh, I keep hitting the wrong button. Custom. No, I want team deathmatch. But see how long and hard it is for me to even find one. See? Here's one here. Look. Team deathmatch hardcore. 1 out of 32 people are in there. That right there, they have to fix, man. But I might come back in here next week and team deathmatch might be one of these experiences. Ridiculous. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it. That is going to do it. We don't have anything else for you lovely folks tonight. So we're going to go ahead and shut it down.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. My bad.
Oh, no, I was just going to say real quick. I mean, look, man. Way games looking right now. Look, man, I'm about to go on to Green Man Gaming and buy You Don't Know Jack. You know what I'm saying? For those of y'all that know that. I mean, that's a game I've always wanted to get. I had 2 of the parts back on the computer back in like early 2000. But wow, they tied the score up.
What?
They tied the score up.
How they did that? Yo, I swear a little while ago it was like 80 to 60 something.
Yeah.
What?
Huge. That's a huge momentum swing right there. Hey.
Let me tell you something. In the NBA, these are them type of moments. If Minnesota loses this game, see, I think the series might be over.
Yeah, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Emotionally, you can't lose this. You can't.
Especially you was up by that much, too.
Oh, man.
At home?
Wow.
Yeah, no. So,
wow.
Yep.
But all right, guys, we're going to get out of here, man.
Call it a wrap, man.
Got daddy responsibilities I got to go tend to, and already Smitty is doing it as well.
Yep.
Got the 2 little ones on his own. So, man, we're out of here, man. We'll catch you guys next time on the Sim Standard Podcast. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Stay safe. God bless. Good night. And, of course, we thank you guys for tuning in. Catch y'all later.
All right. Peace.